Welcome to Sewing Report Live. I am Jen, and this is an emergency broadcast. Yes, people, this is not a drill. This is an emergency broadcast. And we are doing yet another live stream because word on the street is that JOANN Fabrics is going to file bankruptcy fairly soon. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be breaking down the articles I've seen so far, all of the reporting, and we'll also be reading your chats and just kind of getting up to speed on what is going on. I know it's been about 24 hours, less than 24 hours since the last live stream. And before we get started though, just a quick shout out to today's live stream sponsor. As usual, the Sewing Report Etsy shop is the sponsor of today's stream. I appreciate everyone who's ordered from the shop. You can find fabric, sewing supplies, and some handmade items. We do have some fabric bundles on sale, and every purchase goes to support the work we do here at Sewing Report Live. So welcome. Let me just check out the settings, make sure we are all good to go on the live stream side. I believe we are. Give me 1 second, guys. And let me know if you're watching today, where are you watching from? What's going on with everybody? I know it's Monday. We're getting the week started. So hopefully everything is kicking off at a positive note. Hello. And yes, today, wild times. And it's funny because, I signed off last night. Then I packed some Etsy orders. And when I woke up today, I saw all these articles about JOANN's and bankruptcy. So I was like, all right, well, I guess we kind of have to do another stream. I didn't want to wait until Sunday. I thought that was too long. So we are going to be breaking down what is going on in JOANN land because, guys, things are getting crazy. And also, I do want to just, if you're watching in the live chat or in the replay, just a few quick housekeeping rules. Comments must be relevant to this topic. Be polite, be kind, respectful to one another. No politics here, and no self-promotion or any links or anything like that. So just keep that in mind if you are participating in the live chat or if you are watching on the replay. All right, we got some folks coming in here already. Got Gilbert here. I know, it's crazy. We've got Jody in the house here. Hello, Jody. We got another Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer. Nancy, yes, I know, and it's Monday. I don't usually stream on Mondays, but with everything going on, I kind of felt like we had to. We got Bianca in the house. Oh boy, And you know what? I don't know if it's a thing, but because since everyone's been reporting issues with ordering from JOANN's or just the inventory, I've even noticed an uptick in orders from my shop. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it does look like people are looking at other places to get supplies just because they've been having some issues with some of the major retailers. So pretty crazy stuff here. Welcome everyone watching. I know it's nuts. So we're gonna be getting into some news coverage here and just going in. So basically it looks like the first outlet to report this was Bloomberg, and then a lot of other outlets have also just picked up the story, but are basically just sharing like the Bloomberg reporting. So let's take a look at this, and let's get rid of this music for a little bit here. We'll bring that back. We'll rock out a little bit later. All right, and if you are here, make sure to, hit that like button, help out with the engagement, subscribe to Sewing Report Live. You do have to be a subscriber in order to participate in the live chat here. All right, so let's take a look at the Bloomberg reporting, and this is behind a paywall, but I was smart in that I made sure to copy and paste the article text so that I could read it even with the paywall. So it says, crafts retailer JOANN is planning a bankruptcy filing that would hand the keys to lenders. Kind of nuts because already JOANN's, even though it's publicly traded, it's already mostly controlled by a private equity group. So after this, it looks like JOANN's will be run by the private equity group and then I guess lenders. So kind of nuts. So I will be reading the article text. I was able to get it before, I don't know. It's like you can sort of read the article once, and then if you try to pull it up on the same IP address, it's behind a paywall. Okay, so it says, Crafts retailer JOANN is considering a bankruptcy filing as soon as next week as part of a deal that would hand control of the company to lenders while allowing it to shed expensive debt, according to people with knowledge of the matter. Ooh, anonymous sources here. The company, which sells fabric and craft supplies and has around 850 stores in the U.S., has been holding confidential talks with its lenders as it seeks fresh capital to bolster its cash reserves. Discussions are ongoing and plans aren't final, but the company is seeking to line up enough support from lenders that would allow it to exit Chapter 11 quickly in what's known as a pre-pack filing, the people said. Who are these people? I don't know. Chapter 11 bankruptcies allow a company to continue operating while it works out a plan to repay creditors. A representative for JOANN didn't immediately respond to a request for comment outside of normal business hours. JOANN has struggled to maintain liquidity and manage inventory levels amid a challenging environment for retailers. It raised more than $34 million in a sale and leaseback deal for its Hudson, Ohio facility, but is contending with high interest expenses and required term loan payments, Moody's Investor Service wrote in a note in January. The company has been getting advice from Hooligan Lockheed Inc., while a group of lenders retained Lazard Inc. and Gibson, Dunn & Crutcher, Bloomberg News previously reported. Representatives didn't immediately comment, while a spokesperson for Lazard declined to comment. The company is at less than 10 cents on the dollar. According to data compiled by Bloomberg, its shares have lost 85% of their value in the last year, closing Friday at around 50 cents. Oh, and it's gotten much worse since then. JOANN is among a slew of retailers that have been scrambling to shore up their finances in recent weeks. Apparel retailer The Children's Place received new financing. All right, all right. Also mentions Express and Big Lots. So pretty crazy stuff here. That is, yeah. So that kind of all developed over the weekend, and then now that the stock market is back open, all right, let's check out the current stock price because that's, yeah, very eye-opening here. So the current stock price of JOANN is right now it is 29 cents, literally. So the stock today went from 41 cents from closing, you know, when it was opening at 41 cents, and this is just today. Went down to 27 cents. It's been kind of ups and down, and currently it is at 29 cents. Not great, JOANN, not great. And so let's look at 5 days. Like, look at this. So it was kind of around 50 cents, and it kind of fell off a cliff today on the news that JOANN is probably filing bankruptcy. I don't know how soon. It said as soon as next week. So the stock prices, and that kind of explains, because we reported yesterday that there was some unusual put activity on JOANN stock. So obviously these people obviously saw the writing on the wall in the bankruptcy filing. So that is kind of crazy there. So the stock price, yeah, not doing well. Let's take a look at 1 month. Yes, you can still see the cliff here. 6 months. Yeah, like it just kind of rolls off a cliff there. Year to date here, 1 year. Again, it's like, and you can see the bigger trend is just down, 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 down. And this is 5 years. And the stock went public for a second time in 2021. So they've had about, what, 3 years? Yeah, so it's been about 3 years. Actually, almost 3 years to the date. And it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. Ever since sort of like the COVID stuff kind of slowed down, it hasn't been getting better for JOANN. It's only been getting worse and worse and worse. That's crazy, guys. That's just insane. All right, let's read a few of the comments here. All right, yeah, I know. So sad side of crap. I know, right? Right? I know. Yeah, it's like, how much is a cup of Starbucks is like, what, $5 now? So this is like a fraction of the price of it. You can get like 10 shares of JOANN stock for less than the price of a cup of coffee at Mickey D's. My local quilting store just said JOANN's in Decatur is closing. So is that Decatur, Georgia? Where is that, Decatur? I didn't even know there was one in Decatur, Georgia. Interesting. Well, that's the thing. Does that mean that maybe local quilt shops and smaller businesses will have a chance now that it seems like a lot of their corporate competition is just being knocked down? You know, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Decatur, Illinois. Okay. Because I was like, Decatur, Georgia, I don't think they specifically had a JOANN's, because it's kind of a small part of town. All right, let's take a look at a few more articles here. Like, literally, today, a bunch of media outlets have started to pick up the story. So this news is definitely catching fire online and with the investor crowd. So this is from some site called, was it payments.com? Craft retailer JOANN considers bankruptcy filing. You know, no crap there. All right, so it says basically sort of the same thing here. Let's see if there's anything different. Yeah, since 2021 has had trouble maintaining liquidity and keeping on top of inventory levels amid a tough retail climate. Yeah, consumers are cutting back on non-essentials such as crafts as they deal with high grocery costs. The belt-tightening trend continues even though inflation has steadily declined in recent months. Data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows grocery price inflation is outpacing standard inflation rates. These pricing trends likely explain why almost 58% of consumers are cutting their non-essential spending. Nearly 50% of American consumers making more than $100,000 yearly say they decrease non-essential spending whenever possible. The same held true for 61% of consumers earning less than $50,000 and close to 2/3 of those earning between $50,000 and $100,000 per year. Yeah, I mean, crazy. Last year, that insolvency experts expect 2024 to bring an increased number of bankruptcies for bigger companies. We are expecting next year to be a big year for insolvency. That is likely to be across the board, both in terms of geographies and sectors. I personally think we are definitely seeing an element of the dot-com bubble repeating itself. And that's the thing, like, the pandemic was an artificial boost for a lot of businesses. So even though a lot of the foot traffic and brick and mortar businesses were struggling or having a hard time getting foot traffic, a lot of the online businesses boomed. And a lot of people also during the lockdowns had a lot more time on their hands to do things like learn how to sew. A lot of people were trying to make masks or get into new hobbies because they were doing work from home and a lot of stuff was up in the air. There was also like the stimulus check. So there was an artificial source of extra disposable income and free time. So that's kind of come to a close and people are getting back to the regularly scheduled programming. So it does seem like people are spending a lot less on, you know, hobbies, extra activities, fun stuff, which, you know, crafts, sewing would definitely fall into those categories. I hope JOANN's doesn't turn into yet another quilt shop. Well, that's the thing. Like, they have, like, all of that fleece there. They've got, like, novelty prints. You know, they do need some quilting fabrics, like quality quilt fabrics, but they also need apparel fabrics because a lot of people are into sewing clothing. So, you know, and that can be different from each store depending on what people like to buy in that particular region. So buying can be kind of difficult because you have to predict consumer trends and consumer spending. And a lot of that, you know, is not easy to predict. Now let's take a look at a couple other articles here. This is from Investor Place here. Let's take a look at that here. JOANN is on the brink of bankruptcy. No shit there. JOANN stock is falling hard on Monday amid bankruptcy reports. These claim the craft and fabric retailer will file for bankruptcy next week. And again, we'll continue to keep you guys updated with whatever's happening. This comes as it seeks to deal with a large amount of debt. Pretty crazy here. So as early as next week, JOANN is planning to turn the company over to lenders as a way to reduce its debt. These insiders claim the company is currently in negotiations with lenders about the finer details of the deal. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Investors weren't too keen to hear these bankruptcy reports concerning JOANN today. They bring with them heavy trading of the company's shares. That has more than 2 million units changing hands as of this writing. as compared to its daily average trading volume of about 181,000 shares. JOANN stock is down about 43.5% as of Monday morning. Pretty crazy stuff here. All right, let's take a look at another article. So this is kind of an update from thestreet.com. And this one says, JOANN could file bankruptcy soon. A Chapter 11 bankruptcy could provide JOANN with wiggle room necessary to reshape its business and better align costs with sales. Retailers often seek out Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection to restructure because it gives them the necessary cover to renegotiate debts with lenders and landlords, exit leases, and close stores. So Chapter 11 would mean they're not like closing entirely. They're just trying to restructure, negotiate with creditors. I don't know if this means that some locations would close, but it looks like, I mean, that in a sense that's good because that would mean that they're not going out of business entirely. Like, this is not a liquidation bankruptcy. This means that they are just trying to kind of figure out the business side, you know? So, I mean, it's crazy times here. And again, let's take a look at the stock price. The stock price is currently 29 cents. That's not great. I like how it says like only $1.07. Okay, this is like cheaper than a cup of coffee. No. So here's all the articles. Like all of these publications are picking up the JOANN's bankruptcy rumors and starting to report on this. So, and in case you're not aware, a private equity group called Leonard Green and Partners actually controls a majority share of JOANN's stock. I believe it was like 67%. So this is who's really behind JOANN's. It's not like regular shareholders. It's this private equity group. So here's everyone who is there. So just, you know, kind of a bunch of corporate types, you know. And they control a bunch of other things. So lots of other, like, they just control, like, 1-800-CONTACTS, you know, Caliber, Collision, Healthcare, the Container Store. You know, okay, here's JOANN. So, yeah. Sector, consumer products retailer. Deal type, buyout, status, current. So, that's who actually, so if this bankruptcy happens, JOANN's is going to be controlled by whoever the lenders are, and then this private equity group, Leonard Green and Partners. So, fun times there. That explains a lot of the, you know, bizarre decision making that's been happening at a corporate level. I was checking out the JOANN subreddit on Reddit, and there's a lot of talk there about what's going on. Lots of rumors, and yeah, I mean, nobody's really surprised. It seems like JOANN's has been a dumpster fire for the past several years. So nobody's really shocked by any of that. So fun times there. And let's take a look at some of the comments here. Please don't be buying any stock. They can remove it from the New York Stock Exchange and then you'll have no shares. Yeah, it can be kind of risky. Again, this is not, I also want to make a disclaimer. This is absolutely not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. And trading stocks or doing any type of day trading is very risky. So do not do this if you are an amateur, for sure. I've been shopping around for more cheaper prices. I've been going to local mom and pop shops because it has been cheaper than JOANN's. Not to mention the horrible lighting that flickers at JOANN's. That's true. The fluorescent lighting is not doing any of us any favors. In the 90s, I used to work for JOANN's in one of the small stores. Once they went to big stores, the amount of fabric decreased and the quality has gone down ever since. I will say, yeah, the fabric there doesn't really, a lot of it doesn't really appeal to me, so I don't tend to buy fabric at JOANN's myself a lot. All right, depends on the area of which crafts have in stores such as crocheted, knitting, and other crafts. Yeah. I wonder if Cricut is next. Their stock price is under $5. All right, we need to check that out. Let's check out the Cricut stock, because yeah, Cricut. Let's see here. Ooh, okay. All right, let's check this out. All right, thanks for the heads up here. All right, so it's currently at $4.80. Again, not financial advice. This is over 5 years. Yeah, so look at, and all these companies had like these artificial booms during the pandemic. Yeah, look at one point it was like, was it like 30, or at one point it was like $41. That seems to be like, let's see, is this, all right, that's the max. So they also went, that's another company that went public around the same time, March of 2021. Started off around $18, high of $41, and now it's $4.80. So another stock that doesn't seem to be doing too well. And you all know my feelings about Cricut. I'm not a fan of their subscription model that they're trying to force on everybody, and the fact that they require you to use that stupid app and be online in order to use your machine. I don't like that. That's also why I'm not a fan of Brother doing that either. And look, it does not seem to be doing well as a business strategy for any of these companies, because yeah, people, like, I think we all see through that bullshit, and we're like, we don't want a subscription model. We don't want these companies to have control over the products we bought. You know, this is crap. So thanks for bringing that to our attention here. I have not been into Philadelphia in years, but they used to have a fabric row where you could buy fabric at wholesale prices from outlets. These places are harder to find. I've had to go into quilt shops and online to get decent quality cottons, but that gets pricey. Even keepsake quilting is a bit pricey, but the quality is good. Yeah, I mean, it's just nuts, guys. What is going on? I mean, all right. If you want to know what a telltale sign is that this story is going bonkers, it's when, guys, it's when the Sun picks it up. The Sun! Isn't that like a tabloid? They are now running, they now have an article about, it says about JOANN's falls apart beloved retailer with 850 stores nationwide to file for bankruptcy in days after launching 90% off closing down sale. Where was that? All right. Okay. A JOANN store in Ohio launched a 90% off closing down sale. Secret talks are underway to see whether the firm can get extra capital to help shore up cash reserves. The business website added, citing unnamed sources. All right, where is this 90%? Okay, the news comes days after JOANN's Worcester store in Ohio held a massive 90% off sale, including sewing patterns for $1.99. The outlet closed on February 21st, 1 month after the shuttering of the JOANN's Zanesville branch in the same state, said local Fox affiliate WJW. Both the closures and bankruptcy fears follow months of discussion among shoppers on social media, guess that would include all of us, about the Hudson-based retailer. A shopper wrote on Facebook, sad news if JOANN Fabric closes, but they shouldn't have resorted to cheapening the quality of their fabric for one thing. And another woman commenting on the Bloomberg story about JOANN planning a bankruptcy file added, wow, they just opened one store here in La Habra, California in October 2023. Also, a financial guidance website listed it among U.S. firms at high risk of filing for bankruptcy this year. Oh yeah, that we reported on that from Credit Risk Monitoring. Just a year ago, JOANN bosses were trying to dampen down speculation about problems amid several looming branch closures. Any store closures that we have planned are part of our normal business evaluation process, they said. We are definitely not going out of business or having any mass store closures. Yet early in 2023, JOANN closed several stores. This included branches in Batavia, New York, oh, that I know where that is, Marion, Ohio, Huntington Beach in California, and Cockeysville in Maryland. That's a weird name for a city or town, all of which shuttered on January 15th. Then a week later, the company closed these stores. Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Bridgeport, West Virginia, Brockton, Massachusetts, and Keene, New Hampshire. The firm said in a further statement at the time, in alignment with standard brick-and-mortar business processes, JOANN closes stores occasionally while simultaneously investing in and opening brand new stores to best meet the needs of our customers. JOANN has struggled amid a challenging environment for retailers, said Moody's Investor Services. The chain was established in 1948 and offers both online and in-store shopping. Oh, and by the way, I've seen some of your comments on the live streams and on the videos, and there have been some wild stories about, like, orders placed online for in-store delivery or or delivery to home, things are getting chaotic. Like, I've seen some people saying that everything's okay, but a lot of people are reporting problems with either shopping in the stores or trying to place an order for delivery or for pickup in the store. Like, they're getting their orders canceled, or JOANN's is only able to fill part of the order, and it's just getting weird. Like, it's just getting very strange. All right, I'm going to get some water real quick here. All right, let's grab some water. But I just want to note, one place you can place orders for sewing supplies and fabric is the Sewing Report Etsy shop. You can get fabric and sewing supplies at sewingreport.etsy.com. And yes, that is shameless self-promotion here for my own Etsy shop. Also, quick shout out to our friends at Sew Tights. I've got my Sew Tights hang stand they sent me right here. Really convenient way to store all of your Sew Tights magnets. I sell some of these Sew Tights products in the Etsy shop, but you can also shop at sewtights.com and use coupon code SewingReport for 15% off of your order. Not sponsored, but I am a Sew Tights affiliate. So there are other places where you can shop besides JOANN's, and I do hope to see maybe more and more small businesses pop up, more like mom and pop shops, people like me that sell things on a small basis. Like, again, full disclosure, I guess I am a JOANN competitor because I do sell things on a small scale on Etsy. Again, nowhere near the corporate level, and I don't have a brick and mortar store. But this also highlights just the challenges that brick and mortar stores have that online businesses with very low overhead do not have. And I still have a hard time, especially moving fabric. Fabric, in my opinion, is the hardest type of product to sell. It tends to move the slowest. There's not a lot of profit margin in it, and it's also more difficult to ship because it's heavier and takes up more space. So that's my opinion on selling fabric. It's pretty difficult. All right, Nancy, I have not opened the Ditto pack. I have not opened it yet. I know. Yeah. That product didn't seem to do too well for Ditto or for JOANN's. It doesn't. The fact that it's now like half off doesn't bode well for the success of that launch. I inherited a large stash of vintage fabrics, so I've not had to buy too much. At this rate, sewers will need a place where we can trade fabrics. Not a bad idea. I gave away 2 carloads to local county care home. And I've tried to even destash fabrics I've not been using. So I've tried to do that because I bought a lot of fabric and then I don't end up using it. And I have more fabric than I know what to do with. It's because they don't employ crafters in their upper management out of touch. Yeah, y'all know how I feel about that too. I agree with you. I think they don't have enough people at the top level who know anything about people who sew or craft. Okay, that's pronounced Sault Saint. Okay, so it's not Sault Saint. So it's Sault Ste. Marie. Okay, thank you for that. I'm always pretty bad with pronunciations too, and I used to work in news, and we had to pronounce names of random places, and I always butchered them. So hey, I'm bad at that, and I'm particularly bad at French. I totally agree. This was a bit of a problem in the 90s when I worked there, but then they hired an outside person to be CEO. That's when it started being more corporate than crafter. All right, the Sioux is in the middle of nowhere, and I've lived in the middle of nowhere 300 miles away. Yes. Oh, and Gilbert, on Sunday, I'm going to announce this later this week, but we're going to do like live reviews and like feedback for Etsy shops. So you said you wanted help with your Etsy shop. So come prepared, get us the name of your Etsy shop, and we will take a look at it live, see if we can help you out, offer some constructive feedback, and get the help of the chat. So be sure to tune in for that. We're going to be, helping people. Again, I'm not claiming to be an Etsy expert, but if you want to get some feedback from me and from the live chat on Sunday, we are going to be doing some live reviews of Etsy shops. So if that's something you would like help with, come on Sunday. Yeah, I've lived in the middle. Yeah, I haven't lived in totally the middle of nowhere, but I have lived in some. I lived in El Paso for 3 years. That's not really in the middle of nowhere, but it's definitely kind of a random place. I wondered about selling my excess fabric online. I tried a live sale on my YouTube channel, but it didn't go well. Maybe are there any like fabric trading Facebook groups? Because that could be kind of popular. Like maybe you can like maybe there's like a destash Facebook group or like a trading thing, or like even giving away fabric if you don't want it. Maybe there could be something like that. My Etsy shop is so understocked. I have not had time to sew. Been recovering from a spine injury. Well, Nancy, I hope you are able to recover well. I hope your surgery, it sounds like your surgery went okay, but hopefully you can get back up and feeling better soon. I have nothing in my store now. Well, that's okay. You know, just tell us what you sell or whatnot. You know, you can even kind of like in the chat, maybe you can even tell us what, you know, shoot us like what you're planning to do, and maybe we can give you feedback on your plans, something like that. So that's totally cool. But we appreciate you being here, and we'd love to try to help. You know, I'm sure all of us would love to try to offer some helpful suggestions to anyone who sells on Etsy. All right, let's see if we have any more articles here. Okay. Oh, and here's another one from here's another article from the Beacon Journal. JOANN Inc., the Hudson-based retailer, on the brink of Chapter 11 bankruptcy, from the Akron Beacon Journal. All right, and again, this is what happens too if one media outlet picks up a story. A lot of the others will write articles and they'll just cite that other media source, which is what's happening here with Bloomberg. So a lot of media outlets will like kind of piggyback on the initial story, and then they'll cite the other media outlet as a source. Yeah, just last month, JOANN closed stores. There were layoffs at the Hudson headquarters last year. 4% drop in revenue from December. JOANN is the #1 employer in the city of Hudson with 979 employees as of last January. The latest number is readily available from the city. Jody Roberts, communications manager for the city, said Hudson has not received any formal notice from JOANN's about plans to seek bankruptcy protection. The company did not respond to requests for comment Monday. What would bankruptcy mean for JOANN customers? If JOANN files for bankruptcy, legal experts say the company's day-to-day operations from a customer perspective should be business as usual. The purpose of such filings are to get a retailer's financial house in order and restructure debt to be able to save the core business operations. As part of the restructuring, there is an effort to trim costs, so some more store closings could be in the future to take underperforming or more costly locations off the books. How is the stock market reacting? Well, clearly not well. Following news of the expected filing, JOANN stock reached a new low on the NASDAQ exchange. Already in penny stock territory and at risk for being delisted by NASDAQ next month, the stock opened the day at 40 cents per share and fell as low as 26 cents per share before rising back to 29 cents. A company is considered out of compliance with NASDAQ's minimum listing criteria and given a warning if its stock falls below $1 for 10 consecutive days. They've definitely been there. JOANN received its warning October 19th. Its stock is not closed at or above the dollar mark since September 6th. The company was given until April 16th. Okay, so put that on your calendars. April 16th is when it has to return to compliance, including a period of 10 consecutive trading days closing above $1 per share. Failure to do so will result in JOANN's removal from the exchange. NASDAQ-listed companies enjoy better visibility among investors than over-the-counter stocks that are not affiliated with a centralized trading network. All right, okay, here's the origins. Although JOANN is now based in Hudson, the retailer got its start in Cleveland. A group of German immigrants, Hilda and Bertold Reich, Sigmund and Matilda Rohrbach, and Justin and Alma Zimmerman opened the Cleveland Fabric Shop in 1943. The number of shops grew and became JOANN Fabrics, combining the names of two daughters from the founding families, JOANN and Jacqueline Ann, and expanded to other locations. The company went public in 1969 and grew through a series of acquisitions over the ensuing decades. It was taken private again in 2011 and returned to public trading in 2021. And here is the difference between Chapter 7 and Chapter 11. So one involves liquidating assets while the other reorganizes them. In Chapter 11 is the reorganizing form. So that means the company continues to operate and restructures under the supervision of a court-appointed trustee with, you know what would be interesting? guys, for real, I'm going to try to get a hold of the bankruptcy documents, and maybe if and when this happens, I'm going to try to do as much research as I can and get, like, I believe when they file for bankruptcy, there will be some publicly available documents and, like, court filings. So we should be able to maybe get a hold of the documents. And also, like, I think they have to file something with the state it's headquartered in. They have to file some sort of corporate notice. So, like that city manager was saying they had not gotten anything. I believe they're going to have to file some sort of notice with the state, like, that controls all the corporations, that type of thing. So maybe we should be able to get a hold of some of the documents and, like, really get a better look at the inner workings of JOANN's. That would be interesting, and I will definitely be trying to do some research and finding out some of that, because if they do file for bankruptcy, we'll be able to take a look at some stuff here. So we also have a comment from Rumble. Staff says, I sell handmade and vintage items, and no, I can't pick a lane. I like the variety. Thank you for commenting, Steph. We are multi-streaming as well. And yes, I am back to StreamYard. Rumble Studio, man, that was a trip. So we're back to StreamYard here. My mother was a professional seamstress, even did several years of Philadelphia mummers groups. I have lots of odds bits of fabric, gave satins away to local high school for prom dresses. I remember when Hancock's finally closed. Yeah, I remember that too. It was heartbreaking to watch the employees and what they had to go through. Very sad, certainly. Manx Cat. Hi, everybody. Check the NASDAQ JOANN's down to 29 cents. Yes, we were looking at that a little earlier, and I'll be continuing to kind of keep track on what the stock is doing. So yeah, they're going to have to file some documents whenever they file for bankruptcy, so we should be able to take a look at some of these. If they're going through Chapter 11, they might have to downsize. Just recently, Macy's reported they're closing about 150 stores nationwide. And I do think this is part of a larger trend of brick and mortar stores not doing so well, especially with the prolific popularity of online shopping. Again, I don't do a lot of in-person shopping myself. I shop a lot online. In fact, in my area, we have a few different grocery stores. We have Winn-Dixie, we have like Aldi, we have Publix, which is a big one. And Kroger, we don't have any physical stores, but Kroger is doing massively well. In fact, I'm a customer and I love it. They have been doing, they don't have any physical stores, but they just do grocery delivery. So Kroger has a bunch of warehouses, and then they do door-to-door delivery. It's fantastic, and it really doesn't cost much more than regular grocery shopping. And I think that just goes to show that people want convenience, and that means not having to drive to the store. That means getting things delivered. And I do think, like, Macy's, you know, even JOANN's, probably could do better online sales and not have as much of a physical presence, just because people like shopping online so much. So maybe this is part of a bigger trend of just people wanting to shop online and just not as much interest in less foot traffic. So I do think this is part of a bigger overall pattern here. Well, I appreciate you, Sprint Car Lady. All right, do you think it might be because the bigger stores do not make community connections like a smaller store can? I mean, possible. I think the other thing with JOANN's is they're stocking a lot of inventory that a lot of us don't really want, like the weird, like kind of lower, like it's not even great quality home decor stuff. And then all of the novelty fleas. So I think it's a mixture of them not having enough, them not giving customers a reason to go to the store. Like, there are businesses, in-person businesses, that are doing well because they create like this Instagram-worthy experience. They've got cool stuff there. They've got like selfie walls. They've got like stuff that people want to do in person. And I don't think JOANN's has done that. Like, they have not figured out how to create an in-store experience that people want to get off their butt, get in the car, and get to. So I think that's one area where they could have done a lot, like with that area they have in the store to like hang out, chill, and craft things, the classes. I think they could be doing a lot more with that kind of stuff that they're not, you know. Because a lot of, especially Gen Z people, they will go to places so they can take pictures and videos for Instagram and do social media content. And JOANN's hasn't really figured that out, in my opinion. I tend to spend more on things that were not on my list if I go into the store. And that is true. That is true. I want clothing fabric. It is either see-through or stiff. Yeah, they have a lot of when I was there, they didn't have a lot of apparel fabric that I was interested in. And I'm sorry, but they had a lot of kind of low quality, like polyester knit fabric, or like stuff that's just not that great. Like, I'm not that into that kind of stuff. They have too much fleece and so little apparel. Yeah. Louder for the people in the back, Sandy. Louder for the people in the back. If they do online only, JOANN should sell in half-yard increments. They would overall sell more fabric. I don't know. And right now they do have that like 2-yard minimum. So you have to buy at least 2 yards of stuff. I mean, that is, yeah, they do have that going on here. Let me get some water real quick. I'm going to mute myself because I have to cough. All right, Nancy says, the small JOANNs I worked at had quilting night, cake decorating night, crafty night, wreath making demos. Best was the customer cookie bags we gave away once a year. You know what? And I've been kind of interested in cookie decorating. I would love to do a cookie decorating class. That's something I'm personally interested in doing. And I remember they used to be pretty big on the cake decorating stuff with Wilton. All right, Gnome de Plume. I like the username. If I'm going to spend time making a garment, I want it to be nice. Not fast fashion quality. If I want fast fashion quality, I can buy it anywhere cheap. That's true. Therefore, I want nice quality fabric. I don't see any of the large stores do much of this. That's true. The only fabric I buy from JOANN's is stuff from the clearance section for muslins. I mean, yeah, let's be real. I do a lot of that kind of thing too. All right, we got Patty Mac Makes. Their selection has gone downhill since 2019. They used to have beautiful items, and now it's more on the low-end side. I do like them for neutrals, so I guess I need to stock up sooner than later. I worked there until 2008, and it used to be the best apparel selection, and most of the fabric department, they aren't listening. And I remember I don't know if they still do, but they had pretty good home deck fabric, like if you were trying to make like pillow covers or like upholster stuff or make curtains. They used to have at least a pretty good selection of that kind of stuff. They've also done collaborations with like the Property Brothers. Ellen DeGeneres had fabric. Like there was literally Ellen DeGeneres fabric. I think there was like another celebrity. It was somebody like Jennifer Aniston or something that had like a collab, like a celebrity collab with the home deck stuff. So they've had a lot of that kind of stuff here. So, I mean, yeah, they have a lot of, yeah. I feel like JOANN's has in my opinion, I think they have a lot of missed opportunities for getting people interested. You know what I'm saying here? Yeah, I mean, it's very sad. JOANN has been around since I was a kid, maybe even before I was born. Definitely so apparently they've been around since 1943. So they were definitely around before you were born. Yeah, for sure. Before most of us were born, unless you were born before 1943, which, so you would have to be like, okay, so that's like what? I need to get out my calculator. So they were founded in 1943. Let's get out the calculator here. So 2024 minus 1943, 81 years. So JOANN's has been around in some form for 81 years. That's a very long time, for sure. I know, we're having fun, guys. So if you are joining in late and you like just got in here, we are reporting on JOANN. A lot of media outlets and publications are picking up that it looks like JOANN is planning to file for bankruptcy in the next week or so. So getting kind of crazy. It looks like they are in talks with lenders for new cash. Gonna file Chapter 11, so that means reorganizing. And, guys, let's check out the stock price. The stock price is now 28 cents, so it's gone down about a penny since we've started this live stream. Not doing too well on the NASDAQ. Probably gonna get delisted. So they've got, I need to write that down. So April 16th is when that's their deadline for getting the stock above $1. Otherwise, they're gonna get delisted off of the NASDAQ exchange, which is not great. Which is not great. All right. Got some more comments coming in here. All right. Janome has her cosplay fabric that is awesome. Okay, yeah, I know. I don't do a lot of cosplay. That stuff actually does look pretty cool. They are improving their apparel fabrics. I have seen the Badgley Mishka, and the Eddie Bauer fabric was kind of interesting too. So they offer Badgley Mishka and Eddie Bauer, not to mention a cosplay designer. I think, is that Janome? When will the stores start closing? Will it be? So it looks like this store, not like all of the stores are going to be closing. Chapter 11 means they're basically trying to like get a way to pay back all of their they're going to get some cash, pay back the lenders, and they're trying to restructure, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the stores will close or even any will close. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I want to see. I've seen the Liberty fabrics online, but I actually didn't see them in the store. I kind of want to go back to a JOANN's and check out what's going on, because I did go to the store, I think like in January or something. So that was the last time I was at the JOANN store. Okay, the Eddie Bauer line is just a rent-to-trade. Okay, so is that the thing where they just take fabrics and slap the Eddie Bauer label on it, and it's not actually Eddie Bauer fabric? I think I remember hearing something about that kind of thing. So that's kind of interesting. JOANN's is all we... Yeah, a lot of areas don't have a lot of options for fabric stores. So a lot... It's getting slim, guys. It's getting slim. This is not great, guys. This is not great. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here, but this is getting kind of... Things are getting kind of wild out in JOANN land here, for sure. So let's check out some of the other publications here. Let's see, this was from... Yeah, a lot of the investor and like the financial publications have started picking up the JOANN's bankruptcy story. So, I mean, yeah, we're probably looking at another week or so, and hopefully we'll be able to get... I'll be able to get my hands on some of the documents, and we can go over those, or maybe take a look at the inner workings of JOANN's. I went into a JOANN store and asked where the Liberty fabrics were, and the clerk had never heard of such a thing as Liberty fabric. What the heck? Oh boy. By me, it is either JOANN's or high-end stores. So yeah, things are getting pretty wild here, guys. Pretty wild. We're gonna try a couple of views out here. Let's see what this... Okay. I know, what do you guys like? I kind of like... This one's not too bad. Alright, we'll do this one. Okay. So yeah, JOANN's... Looks like JOANN's is going to be filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the next week or so. And if you guys are in here, if this is your first time here, I'm Jen. We go over sewing industry news. We chit-chat here. We have fun. We talk. And this is kind of a place to hang out. You can meet new people here. I go live normally every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. This is an emergency broadcast. Yes, an emergency broadcast because news broke over the weekend about JOANN's filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and the stock price is basically falling off a cliff today. So, yeah, lots going on. So let's take a look at the stock price. 28 cents. 28 cents. That's like unheard of. Like, that's crazy. That's just crazy here. Wonder what JOANN's Q1 report will look like. We will have to see. All of my hometown quilt shops closed. Yeah, I don't think we only have like a few quilt shops in my area. I'm in the Tampa Bay area. There's a couple, I think, in Sarasota, I believe. Not a lot. There's a couple fabric stores. I need to kind of check some of those out, but my husband and I share cars, so it's kind of hard for me to get out much, so I don't generally. So that's why I have to like shop online and get my groceries delivered, because we share a car and he takes it to work. So fun times here. And if you are here and you are enjoying this show, you're finding it interesting, I would greatly appreciate it if you could smash that like button. And if you're here and you're new, subscribe. If you would like to be updated on whatever is happening in the sewing world, the sewing sphere, that's what the purpose is here. I also have a main channel called the Sewing Report that has more like regular sewing videos. I do embroidery over there. I've done lots of tutorials, how to use a sewing machine. So if you found this channel and you're like, what the heck is this? You can also check out the Sewing Report, where I do a lot of just more like regular sewing videos over there. All right, so let's show you guys that. So this is the Sewing Report main channel. So you can also head over there if you want to learn how to use a sewing machine, or more about embroidery machines, or learn simple sewing projects. In fact, this emergency broadcast actually kind of derailed my plans to do some embroidery today. I was going to use the sketch, which I probably will do after the show ends. I'll probably do that. But I was going to cut up some clips from last night's show, and then I saw this and I was like, well, we're going to have to do another stream, guys. We're going to have to do another stream. So that's what we're doing here today. Yeah, I would probably not, again, not financial advice, but I would say purchasing JOANN stock at this point would probably be a very risky endeavor, especially if they get delisted. So yeah, well, here's the thing. The large trading volume means they could also be shorting the stock. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're buying the stock. They could be shorting it, meaning they're counting on the stock going down further. So that could be happening. Remember when there was a mass closing of independent garment fabric stores? Well, JOANN's was affected as well by the fact that people just weren't sewing garments anymore. I am not giving you investment advice, but they can delist it and you will have no shares. And if relisted, you don't get your shares back. Ooh. I love the Serger series you did on the Sewing Report channel. Thank you, Nancy. Yes, I did do another Serger project, but I like never edited it. So I started and then I like didn't finish it. Yeah, I've been having trouble over on that channel with like just the editing stuff. So they stocked up what was selling: quilting fabrics, scrapbooking supplies. I don't know what the fleece load up was about, but they're trying to include nicer garment fabrics. Might be like too little too late. Is that what you're saying? Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Things are this is getting wild, guys. It's been really crazy to see just the trajectory of JOANN's over the past few years. Like, they were riding high on all of that, like, pandemic craze with all of the over-consumerism and the buying. And that's the thing. It just wasn't real. Like, it just wasn't... That was not, like, real activity. That was just an artificial boom. So, I don't know. Yep, too little, too late. That's right. That is right. I'm going to get some water real quick here. My local Walmart has mostly cotton poly blends. If I want to buy wool or suede or microfiber fabric, I go to JOANN's and see the live colors and feel the texture. Oh, and totally off topic, but I want to show you guys a video that I just think you would find funny. So, hold on a second. All right, yeah, we got the overhead camera back. All right, so I want to show you a video. So, earlier, I was hanging out with the rabbit, and I usually kind of let her out and she can hang out for a while and do whatever. So she has this box full of hay, right? She gets very excited about it because my husband's friend is a farmer, and he brought us this huge bale of organic, like farm fresh hay. It's like a variety of different grasses. She goes crazy. All right, let me see here. She goes crazy over it. Like, she literally, it's insane. Let me see if I can get this video up. So I let her out, and then I went into the other room. She's usually pretty cool about it. And then I hear like some like, so in the morning I give her some lettuce. So I give her some romaine. I gave her some romaine and like some Boston lettuce and stuff. And then she usually chills and eats it and stuff. And all right, let me get this video up. So then I heard some. So she started. Here's the video. She started. Okay, so first I hear the paper.
What are you doing? Hi.
So this is her, like, I don't know what the heck. So she started shredding the paper towels that her lettuce was on. And then I keep a towel under there. And she just started, like, digging. And then, like, I don't know what the heck is going on. But she's insane. So this is what my rabbit does. Like, it's just, like, notice the paper towel. So she shreds paper. She worked on that for a while. And then she was throwing the paper towel up in the air. I tried to get a video of it, but I didn't catch it in time. It was hilarious. She was literally like, it's so funny. She like she throws her head back.
Let's not eat that. Hey. Don't eat.
So I was trying to get her not to eat the towel. And she was trying to like pull the towel out. Like it was just so weird.
What are you doing?
All right, let me see if I can find let me see what the other video is. It was just, she's so weird. Like I was like, what are you doing? Okay, and here she is. Let's see here. Okay, oh, this is the vertical one I took. Okay. Also, she left me, like, a bunch of poops. I was like, thanks for that. So you can see the paper towel is after she already shredded it. And, she already shredded it, and then she threw it around. So she was throwing it up in the air.
Hey, what are you doing, Memo? What are you doing?
And that's when she started, like, digging the towel. So I was like, what? And then she left it. So here's the thing about rabbits, too, is that, so rabbits, if you've ever seen rabbit, not to get too graphic, but if you've ever seen rabbit poop, they look like little marbles or something, and they're, like, weirdly not gross. Like, I've never thought that I would be picking up, like, animal poop with my hands, but, like, it's very dry, it doesn't smell. It's mostly hay, because she eats mostly hay. But the funny thing about her is that when she, like, hops around, the poop will just, like, kind of fly out of her butt. Like, I'm not joking. So she'll, like, jump out of her box of hay, and then there'll be, like, 10 poops that scatter everywhere. So that's what happened in that video, is that she jumped out of the box, and then, like, the poops will just, like, scatter like marbles. It's really funny. So she left me a bunch of little presents around, and then she started, like, literally, like, so she'll take the paper towel and she'll get it in her teeth, and then she'll just start going like that with her head. It's really hilarious. They're really funny. They're just very funny creatures. I don't know. Just very, I don't know. I'm amused by the rabbit. I'm amused. Anyways, that's a total sidebar there. All right, now for other types of fabrics, I'm going to depend on online stores. Thanks to all of you, I have more new names of online stores I didn't know about. Yeah, if you have a favorite online fabric shop, drop it in the chat here so other people can know about it. Let us know if you have any good suggestions. Bunny is high on grass. Oh, that's right. And when I put the wrap, so what I do is we have the bale in the garage, and then I take like a little plastic grocery bag. I put some of the hay in there, and then I put it in her box. As soon as she realizes it's like that time, she jumps in the box like frantically, and then she'll start punching the grocery bag. She's like a kangaroo box. I'm not joking. She's like a freaking kangaroo. And she starts punching the bag. Like, it's the craziest thing ever. She's so weird. She's so weird. I know. What a nut job. She's crazy. All right. I have ordered online and had mixed results. Sometimes I want a specific color match. I need to see and feel the fabric. I mean, that's a good point. Sometimes that's the best thing, you know? You know what I'm saying there? All right. And if you are looking for a place to buy fabric, one place you can do it is the Sewing Report Etsy shop. This live stream is sponsored by my own Etsy shop. I sell fabric, sewing supplies, and a few handmade items. I got these new really cute premium sewing labels. They're very adorable, and I cannot wait to use mine. I got these fabric bundles. And by the way, this is a great deal, this Refresh Fat Quarter Bundle. I have 4 left, and you get 14 fat quarters for $34. Free shipping over $35, so you just have to order one more thing to get free shipping, and you get 3.5 yards of fabric, $34, pretty good deal there. And it's a very nice watercolor, like abstract floral prints. Really pretty there, and I have 4 left. So if you are looking for fabric, we definitely have it at the Sewing Report Etsy shop. And I do, again, I've got some nice solid bundles. I've got the Glimmer Solids Fat Quarter Bundle. I do have some holiday fabric left if you are starting to sew your Christmas projects. I've got this Wild Expedition flat fat stack bundle. That's really cool because all of the fat quarter bundles are printed on one cut of fabric. So if you do want to pre-wash your fabric, it makes it easier. Also, it packs up a lot more. It's a lot more compact for storage. I've got sew ties. I've got these purse scarves, needles, scissors, webbing, lots of different stuff at the Sewing Report Etsy shop. So if you are looking for another place to get your supplies, you can check it out. That's my own Etsy shop. I ship all of these items out personally. I pack all of the items. I also throw in a few free goodies. If you place like orders over like, you know, 40, 50 bucks, I start to throw in some freebies there. So there are some places you could, I've also purchased a lot of stuff from Etsy myself. So you do have options, even if you don't have a big box store nearby. Is she in season? She is fixed, so she is not in season. She's not going crazy. I mean, she is crazy. She's just not going that kind of crazy. So she is yeah, I know. We didn't need any baby bunnies here. All right, Mood Fabrics is my place to shop for apparel fabric. They do a great job showing the fabric, and descriptions are amazing. You know, I've never ordered from Mood. I think they did send me, like, as an influencer thing, they sent me, like, a box of sample fabrics. I'll be real. I like them. Oh, wait, no. You know what? I have ordered from them before. I take that back. I ordered some faux leather, which I still have, and I ordered some pink wool fabric, which is actually in my de-stash section of the Etsy shop. I never ended up using it. And then when I went to look at the fabric, it had some like weird snags in it. So I am de-stashing it. I did disclose that flaw in the listing. So that is for Mood. I'm selling it for a lot less than I paid for it just due to the flaws in the fabric. I bought it because I was going to make like a coat or something, and I never did. So the only thing about Mood is I think some of their fabrics are very taste specific, and their prices are a little bit on the high side. All right, if you got any comments, let me know. And this Sunday, we will be reviewing Etsy shops. If you have an Etsy shop and you would like us to take a look at it, stay tuned on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time when we will be reviewing Etsy shops. All right, let's, I'm also going to take a look at the, all right, we'll keep monitoring the JOANN stock to see what's going on here. Because it's getting crazy, guys. The stock is down to 28 cents today. And it was like, I think it was like 40 some cents on Friday. All right, let's turn the, all right, we're going to turn the music back on too. Let's get the music rocking again. Man, I'm getting hungry too. Is anyone else hungry? I'm pretty hungry. I don't know about you. Alright guys, I might sign off pretty soon. We got through all of the latest with JOANN. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Let me Google real quick and see if there's been any, let's see if there's any new articles about JOANN's since we're here. We'll do kind of a last call and see if there's any new articles about JOANN. Not really. Alright, let's take a look at the JOANN subreddit too. We'll take a look at that. See if there's anything new here. But yeah, this has been an emergency broadcast because, guys, things are getting crazy here. Alright, we're gonna take a look at, alright, let's refresh the stock here. So yeah, I guess, here's the deal. If something happens before Sunday, like something noticeable, we'll do another live stream with another emergency broadcast. If not, we'll go live Sunday as usual. And of course, after that, if there's anything big going on, like when they actually do, you know, if and when they actually do file Chapter 11, we'll do another emergency stream whenever that happens. So stay tuned for that. If you are not already subscribed, I would highly recommend you do so if you would like to get notified about everything that's going on with JOANN Fabrics or anything else in the sewing industry. But I appreciate everyone tuning in today. I know this was very last minute, but we've had some fun here. Hancock was gone many years ago. Now JOANN's. I hope Walmart doesn't, because I'm a knitter and crocheter too, and they have a huge variety of yarn here, more variety than fabrics. All right, we got My Scrap and Mama here. Part of me wants to buy a few hundred shares of JOANN's and make some money for when they make a comeback. Hey, this is not financial advice. I would say do what you're gonna do, but I probably would not. I don't know if I would count on that, because if they get delisted, again, it could be, let's see how much 100 shares would be. It would be like $28 or something. So I mean, you could if you wanted to. Let's see here. So let's see. All right, so say 28 cents times like 100. Okay, so you could spend 30 bucks and see what happens. You certainly could, but again, should I do it just as an experiment and see if I lose my money? I don't know. I don't know. Again, not financial advice. Disclaimer, I am certainly not a financial expert here. JOANN is a nice stock of yarns. I'm also crocheting. They do have some nice yarn there. I will give them that. It would be a shame, but again, the Chapter 11 means that it's not like they would close all of the stores and shut down forever. It just means they're reorganizing. So that's all it means. Going shopping again tomorrow. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, maybe I should check out our JOANN's. Anyways, I appreciate everyone watching for this emergency broadcast about JOANN's on the verge of bankruptcy, and it looks like they will be filing a Chapter 11 sometime in the next week or so. I will continue to keep you informed. Whenever something's happening, you will know about it here on Sewing Report Live. Anyways, I am Jen for Sewing Report Live. I'll see you guys again in the next one. And remember, whatever you're doing, make it fun.